Okay, two girls talk.
Tonight's topic is being adults. Can we forget ourselves to come together for our children, our kids? That's something that's pretty near and dear to me. Myself, personally, am going through some things with my baby dead.
Or is it a partner?
Yeah, we'll say my partner. Going through things with my partner. We're recently separated. It's been what?
A couple weeks now.
6 months? No.
6 months? Wow.
It's been 6 months that we've been separated.
Wow, friend. Time goes by quick. It does.
It's been about 5 or 6 months since we've been separated, but it's only literally been maybe 4 weeks since he's been out the house. 4 to 5 weeks since he's been out the house. And the reason I brought this topic up is, like I said, it's near and dear to my heart, is because, you know, we have children together, and I find that the way I expected for this to go down, for us to have behaved, the way I expected him to behave as a father is just not what's happening at this point. And at this point, I'm ready to just be like, yo, fuck you, suck a bag of dicks, and keep it moving.
Isn't it our delusion too as women? We expect them to do better because we had children with them.
No, it wasn't my delusion. It wasn't. You got to remember, like, we were together for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, for like it would have been 10 years this year.
Well, let me rephrase. When I say delusion, it's like you expect someone to be like-minded like yourself. Like, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
Right.
Like, if you come to an agreement, like, you know, it's not working out, let's separate, but let's still be about our kids. That's the more logical, reasonable thing to do.
It is. That's the way I wanted it to go down, and I still do.
Adults, be responsible. But
still do.
But then you got people, you know, you got like the person who's not willing to do that, and they're acting like a child.
Right, and that's my whole thing. Like, this is why I wanted to discuss that. And please feel free to give us your comments on this, because I'm looking to it like, these motherfucking niggas is just retarded. Like, you know, it gets to a point where motherfuckers will make that bitch go like, I don't want to deal with you. I don't need nothing from you. You make a bitch angry. Like, it's a lot of bitter, angry bitches out there. And for years, I always just thought it was because it's bitter bitches. Now, it is bitter bitches out there. It's a lot of angry bitches, but it's a lot of bitches who need to be angry.
It's like to say, evil is never created. It's made. It's like, if you keep getting antagonized by your mate, by men, people in general, like, you start hardening it up and you start getting real sour, real angry, real quick.
All right, but I'm going to give you a reason as to why I say that. Because right now, with the children of my father, and I'm not going to get into baby daddy, but the children of my father, like, you know, where we are right now in our point is we're supposed to be
the father of your children.
I'll go with technically he's my husband. I mean, it's not even, I can't even say he's the father of my children, because we were married before we had children.
Right.
Like, even though I know I sound ghetto at times, I still had the American dream, and it was
to get married,
have the house, to be married, and to have it with children free. You know what I mean? Like, we were together for 4 years before we even had kids, and married for 2 years before we had kids.
You did it right, and see what happens when keeping it real goes wrong, ladies. Like, you can't expect the fantasy, the fairy tale to come true a lot of times. Real life. Like,
you know what? I think it's like this. It was me. It was me because I know the type of person that I had, and I just expected more. I expected more. I expected not where we are right now. You know, I didn't expect the motherfucker to be, you know, playing the kid game, not answering the motherfucker's phone calls. He ain't answering the bitch phone calls. You know, you hanging up on me when I call if you got the kids. Playing corny little games. When I call if you got the kids. You know, you letting the phone ring a gazillion times, and then you pick it up, don't say hello, you just give it to the kids. Then you rushing the kids. I can't even say, hey, what's up, what's going on? All you let me say is I love you to the kids, and then you hanging right up. You know what I mean?
It's playing power.
Young shit. It's corny shit. Then you stalking a bitch, you know what I'm saying? You sitting outside the motherfucking house, following me with the lights out and shit.
Like men, what does that do when in women too? Because women can get just as crazy. What does that do when the person clearly said it's over, leave me alone?
Over.
What does that do? It's like why are you trying to antagonize and make a situation worse for yourself?
Here's my question. It's not even just about antagonizing a person. It's about, let's not forget, at the end of the day, we got kids.
We still gotta work
this
together.
Ain't just about me and you. It's like this. When you have a child with a person, you have to look to that as you now have a business. That is your business. Your family is your business.
Exactly.
Okay? So when you chose to do a partnership with a person and then you decided to have a child, now you have a business. You got to always make sure your business is up and running.
Right.
Okay? And running properly and smoothly. So even if you decide to not be partners no more, y'all still have a business. Even if y'all don't like each other no more, you still got a business that you got to keep thriving. And if you don't come together in at least a business type of manner, in a cordial way, your business ain't going to last. It's not going to last, and it's not going to function properly. And that's how you have to think of your children.
And like I was going to say too, people think, well, you know, if you stick it in with the kids until like they're 18, it doesn't work, because even after 18, they're still going to need guidance from both parents. So
it's over.
It's never really over as a parent.
Never over. That's what people need to get. It never ends.
It's a lifelong
commitment.
You die or they die. I mean, whichever. Like, hopefully you get to go before they die.
Yes, it's a
lifelong commitment.
It never goes anywhere.
You know, it's just like you're going to be that constant force in their lives, influencing them. Even when your children have children, they're going to constantly, or you would hope they would come to you for advice. And then, you know, sometimes kids, they don't respect you until they become parents themselves. Right. And then they start coming to you valuing your words.
Or if you have good kids, it may not hit home until they have children, but they always respect, know, and remember and get what you're saying. You can always hear something and store it. It doesn't mean that you truly understand it.
It's not going to register. It's not going to get activated until they have use for it.
Right, but it doesn't mean that they don't use it. Yeah. It doesn't mean that they don't use it, because there are tons of things that I grew up around that I would never implement in my way of parenting at all. But there are a lot of things that I've seen from different people that were parents that I would definitely implement with my children, and I have. You know what I'm saying?
You like what they did, and you saw the result of like what good parenting brings.
And I mean, I've seen the result of what I thought was good parenting. Just the results weren't good. It just, you know, sometimes it's such thing as overkill.
I see.
You know,
being too strict, because then they can like
too strict, too nice.
Rebellious. Yeah, you can be nice, but you still have. See, I think the misconception with that is you have to be firm and you have to lay down the law. Like, you can't be nice, and then when they do something wrong, you don't discipline your children, and then they think they can walk over you. You're teaching them a bad lesson in life.
Well, I think the problem is that people need to realize that children make mistakes. People make mistakes. Children make mistakes. What we do is we try to reprimand them like they're dogs. Oh, bad boy, you know, and then, you know, we either beat their ass or, you know, verbally abuse them or in some type of way, and they feel bad. The best way is to just beat this. You're disappointed me. Yeah. I'm disappointed, because if you give them that and you give them enough love and affection that they deserve and need, then when you say you're disappointed, you don't really have to raise a hand that often. It's just that word in itself is just enough to get them like, wow.
I was going to say, that word is so powerful. I don't even know if I want to use that word. Disappointed.
And
so
disappointed.
Your heart hurts.
Yes, your heart hurts. It's like, oh shit, I disappointed the bitch. God damn it.
I didn't live up to my purpose. Oh, yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Yep.
But let's going back to what you said about verbal abuse too. You got to watch what you say to around your kids.
I mean, and that's what you say to your kids. What you say around, because that's another thing. You know, my fucking daughter going to ask me. I see, you know, I'm around my kids and mommy, is a man in the bed? So I'm just like, what? A man in the bed, and her dad is around, you know, and he's working around. And I'm just like, a man in the bed? What you talking about? I lost at first, because I'm thinking she's talking about something with her dad going on. So I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? And then she like, you know, she said again, is a man in the bed? And I'm like, what? And I'm still lost. And you know, sometimes, you know, shit don't occur to me until later. And it dawns on me later on, like, You know, and I'm like, you know, I asked him, like, yo, what is she talking about, a man in the bed? And he's just like, I don't know, you tell me, you know, all extra and shit. And I'm just like, I still was lost, like, okay, whatever. I'm not even about to get into this at, like, this time of night. I'm not even about to do that with you right now. And then I'm like, this motherfucker, it dawns on me, like, yo, he's asking my daughter, or he's saying in front of her, is there a man in the fucking bed?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you asking our fucking kid that? Like, this is when it's like, we need to be adults. I'm not asking my kids who you fucking, because I don't give a fuck who you fucking.
You want to say how old your daughter is?
No, everybody don't need to know all that. The whole point of the matter, no, we don't need to get into all that. The whole point of the matter is the motherfucker asked. That's the whole point, okay?
You put the kids in the middle.
And put them in, right. You know what I mean? You put them in the middle, like there's no need for all that. We are adults. We have just like don't nobody know if your man is eating your ass and eating your pussy. Whoa. Your kids don't know that. Like, oh, mommy's sucking dicks at night. That shit that you keep behind doors. You know why? Because it's adult things. Right. It's adult time. That's adult activities. Yeah. So if that is adult activities. And a lot of times we as adults like to try to keep our arguments from our children, the ones that try to be responsible. Then when you're going through something like this, like separation, divorce, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't like this person, that person don't like you, we don't want to be together, I don't like you no more, I hate you, you hate me, and let's not be together. It is what it is, but when you got the children, you cannot behave that way in front of them.
You still have to play a role in front of them.
Exactly, because you're still dad and mom.
Right, you don't show them that party sense, because honestly, you guys are going through what you're going through, but you're adult, you're mature, and you're smart enough to know, like, we need to reserve ourselves, even if you got to act in front of the kids, like, because that's going to affect them, and that can be traumatizing for them.
And you're talking about, exactly, first of all, you know, I grew up in that type of situation, you know what I'm saying, where you got the parent who always talk about the other parent and dog the other one out, or both parents talk about the other one when they're not around. And nobody want to hear that shit. Like, kids don't want to hear it, because at the end of the day, you still mom, and at the end of the day, you still dad, and I love you both. And I don't want to have to decide and choose and all that bullshit.
The child is going to end up feeling like they got to choose.
And they shouldn't have to ever feel like that. You're both, you know, what I tell women is this. You know, and I have to even take my own advice, is that when your mom, your sun and sky, your moon and earth, you're everything. You are everything. You are the air, the oxygen to your children. Exactly. No matter how much they love their dad. Okay? If you're a good mom, not if you just a bitch who had popped out a baby, because there's a lot of those dirty, trifling ass bitches that I'm not going to get started on.
Kids are going to gravitate to someone who the worthy parent is.
Exactly. But if you are a real woman and you love your children and you do right by your children, okay, and they see that and they sense that, and no matter what, that's why that bond with your mother is so strong. Even when the relationship is poisonous, it's hard to sever. Because that tie to your mother is so strong. You have to also remember she carried you for 9 months. So you literally were their oxygen. They couldn't breathe without you.
There's always going to be a connection, because even when they get older, you know how sometimes they say like, oh, the mom can feel if something's not quite right with their child or their son. They call them up, so-and-so, you need this, and it's like, yeah, mom, how'd you know? It's like there's a spiritual connection. Nobody really talks about it like that, but it's like your mom is a part of your soul group, because she had you, so she could feel if something's not right. Maybe if you're even a different state or whatever, she's always anticipating if you need something. Because that just follows through.
You knew, you know, before you have kids, you fall in love. You know, sometimes you may fall in love. And we got it. Well, before we get into that, I can see we going off topic any motherfucking way. So we gonna have to get ready to wrap this shit up. The whole point of the matter is this, okay? People, when it comes to separation, when it comes to divorce, when it comes to plain old breaking up, if there are children that's involved, we all need to behave as adults. We also need to remember that they are looking at us constantly. And if we don't want future fuck-ups like us, you know what I'm saying? Then we need to see the errors in our ways and the shit that we do and try to change it. Okay? And when we feel bad, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to be upset with that other person. If you don't want to be with them, if you don't like them anymore, if you can't stand them, that's cool. But don't do that around the children. Right. Don't show that around the children. You still show that other person respect around your children. Exactly. You still show that other person some type of love around your children, because when they start to see that you treat them like that other parent like shit, eventually they gonna look at you. Yeah. It ain't gonna be that other parent. They're gonna start to look at you and question you.
Like, why are you doing
right? You know what I'm saying? And then that causes future problems. You know, we have to be adults. Just remember that they are always watching, no matter what. When they looking at TV, they watching, because them ears is listening.
And let me take you to this. Like, I know we're wrapping up, but you know what? If you're not really someone to take a look at yourself and see what kind of person you are, maybe like before you become a parent, you need to really assess if I want the married life, I want to get married or whatever. How am I going to be as a parent? You need to already have this shit figured out. If you're going through still childhood issues and stuff like that, you need to get yourself together before you take on that responsibility of taking care of another life, another mind. Yeah, and that's just what I have to say about that. Some people just still stuck in the child mentality of
busting a nut and having a period.
It's not enough.
It's not enough for having babies.
You're messing up society.
Having babies and they ain't ready to have babies.
You're messing up society when you're not being a parent, when you're not really taking that seriously. It's going to affect
you. Grow the fuck up. That's what we want to say. At the end of the day, grow the fuck up.
All right, we leave it out here.
Grow the fuck up.
Trinity and Links.
Grow up.